Started. So everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us today on this webinar. We're going to be talking about how to conduct a successful job search. Our goal today is to equip you with the tools, the strategies, and the best practices to navigate the job market successfully. So hope you guys do take some notes. Have any questions for us, feel free to hold for us at the end of the session, and we'll be more than happy to, assist you guys. So we'll go ahead and get started. Right, everyone. So first and foremost, let me introduce you to the team. We are AlliedUP's career coaching team. For those of us who don't know us, I'm Francisco Sigarin, and with me I have Coach Krista Shambly and Kirsten Jensen. And together we've helped countless job seekers land roles in healthcare and beyond. So we are excited to be working with all of you. All right, so searching for a new job can be challenging, but with the right strategies and tools, you can navigate the job market successfully. So job search, everyone's favorite. And I feel like the job search is where a lot of people do get stuck because there's a lot of factors in it. Does my resume look okay? Am I applying to the right places? What's my next step? So I'm going the next slide, I'm going to go a little bit into depths and, we're going to dissect, how we're going to properly go ahead and job search. So really exciting stuff today, guys. So job search journey starts right here. And put it this way, this is building a strong foundation. So first one, career collateral. First things first, resume. Think of your resume as your personal marketing tool. So nowadays, employers scan the resume in seconds. So you want to make sure that it's clear, it's concise, and it highlights your most relevant experience. A lot of you have heard us talk about it. This is what we call an application tracking system. So a lot of these companies use that to go ahead and scan the resume. So you want to make sure that it's super clear. And you want to make sure that you're using strong action words. And what I mean by strong action words is like if in your resume you're going to state that, for example, I assisted patients. You definitely want to go ahead and use, say I provided care for 60 patients daily. You want to ensure efficient workflow. You want to elaborate because remember, a lot of these, ATS systems, what they're doing, it's grabbing the skills that these jobs are looking for and just comparing it to your resume. So definitely you want to make some updates to your resume. You've probably heard me and the rest of the coaches say it. You want to tailor your resume for each application by incorporating these keywords. I promise you this will help you out so much. And I get it, it's time consuming, trying to read the job description, trying to identify, what skills you can go ahead and update. But in doing that, I promise you, it's definitely going to make a difference. Secondly, your social media and your LinkedIn. You want to make sure that, if you do have a LinkedIn, make sure that it's complete. You have a professional photo, an engaging headline. I see a LinkedIn more of think of it as a social media for your resume. Some employers do actually search up for people on LinkedIn. So, you want to make sure that everything is, highlighted, your experience, your expertise. So that's really important if you are going to go ahead and provide your social media in your resume. Second, thirdly, license and certifications. This is actually really important. I've seen this hurt a lot of scholars where their resume, they talk about, their objective that they want to find a new career path in healthcare. But when I look at the resume, I don't see any certifications. I don't see any licenses. That can be a big factor and also why you're probably not, receiving any word back. You want to make sure that the certifications are up to date and listed. Some roles require specific credentials. So you always want to double check these job postings if you have those credentialing. I guarantee half the time, and I'll tell this to everyone, it's not that you're not considered a candidate. It's either your resume isn't updated to what the skills that they're looking for, or maybe the formatting. Maybe the formatting could be wrong. So that can be two of your biggest factors of why you're probably not getting any word back. You also want to build a network. Networking is one of the most effective ways to find jobs, especially, we use technology every day. That's the best way to go ahead and network. Many opportunities are never posted online. but they're actually filled through referrals. So, reaching out to, a past employer, your colleagues, someone from the school, or attending industry events can really, really help you in your job search as well. Applications. You want to be as organized as possible. You don't want to go ahead and reapply to the same position over and over. So keep track of using, either a spreadsheet or a tracker app or anything like that that can help you, you know, be organized so you know what jobs you're applying to. And also follow up with the applications that you already have. If you haven't heard back in a week, go ahead and follow with a polite follow-up email. Sometimes that actually makes a difference. True story, I was working with a, scholar. He did an interview, um, really wanted the position. So I suggested, you know what, send out a thank you email. Let them know that, you're really interested in the position. Guess what? He ended up getting called for because the interviewer thought no one has ever reached out in that form. He ended up getting the job. So sometimes it actually works in your favor. So these are some of the key things that definitely can really help you guys out. So like I mentioned to you, as coaches, that's what we're here for. So if any of these aspects you guys need assistance in, please reach out to us. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the next slide.
Awesome. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for that, Coach Francisco. I'm going to go through and just build on everything that he said. We're going to break it down. We're really going to discuss the different aspects. So let's start with the top job search platforms. The ones that we're going to recommend are ZipRecruiter. So ZipRecruiter is very user-friendly. You can also host your resume on ZipRecruiter and make it viewable by employers in your profile section. And this works similar to how LinkedIn does. If recruiters are looking to fill specific jobs, they could look for skills and such in your resume when that's uploaded to the database. Through LinkedIn, we're able to do that. So definitely, or through ZipRecruiter. And then for Indeed, that's also another one. I'm sure a lot of you have used Indeed, has a ton of jobs on it and a lot of really great filters. And we're going to explore that a little bit more in the next slide. I'm going to do a job search with you guys. And then for LinkedIn, that's another really great tool. Even if you're not using it to apply for jobs, just having an existing up-to-date profile is a really good idea. Ideally, when an employer sees that you've submitted an application and they look up your name on Google, the first thing you want to see pop up is going to be your LinkedIn. So make sure that your other social media is private, especially during the job search process, and just be mindful about what you're posting out there. And then finally, social media. So this is not somewhere where people typically think to look for jobs, but it is definitely a great place to look. There are all kinds, especially on Facebook, there are Facebook groups for, medical assistants in the LA area, or, open entry-level healthcare roles in the area, or new grads to healthcare. So definitely working within those social media groups, looking to see if anything's been posted, or even making a post yourself and introducing yourself, and talking about your great skills and what you're looking for. You might get some traction that way. Other resources you might find helpful. Glassdoor is a good place. They have job postings on there. I don't typically see as many as we do on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, but that's really good to get an idea of what the company culture is like. So, what is it? Fast paced? Is it more independent work? What does that look like for you? And there'll be reviews from previous employees. Sometimes they have information on what the interview process looks like. So lots of really helpful tips on Glassdoor. And then, of course, Health eCareers and the American Association of Medical Assistants, they both have their own job boards. Health eCareers are specific to healthcare. The American Association of Medical Assistants, that is specific for medical assisting. All right, so this is Indeed. So like I was mentioning earlier, they have lots of really helpful filters on here, and I'm going to introduce you to some of them. However, the first thing I want to point out is whenever you search, for example, medical assistant jobs in Oakland, California, you can go and set these filters here. So we can say Let's look for jobs that are posted within the last 7 days to get the best results. We know those those recruiters are still looking. These are not any old jobs that have maybe already been filled and haven't been taken down. See if it lets me in. So now we're narrowing it down to the last 7 days within 25 miles. We can go through and we can select different job types. We can go through and select different certifications and levels of education. With the filters, when you're first getting used to them, I would highly encourage you to only use one or two at a time and then sort through the rest of the information. Sometimes if you go through and set all of these specific filters, it's only going to give you, 1 to 2 jobs or no jobs at all. So just going through, setting it to either the mile radius and the date, maybe looking at pay rates, education, all of that. Once you have those filters how you want them, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. And you're going to see this. It'll say, I want to receive the latest job alert for medical assistant in Oakland, California. And then you'll put your email address in there and select activate. That way, as soon as jobs are posted within whatever criteria you set, you're going to be alerted about those opportunities. I also want to go through and talk about reading the job description because I know all job descriptions are written differently and it's hard to sometimes identify, what you're qualified for and what you should apply to. So I'm going to pull up this job here. We're going to go through and look at it. So this is a medical receptionist role in San Ramon, California. You can see some of the highlights up here. I typically don't take these at first glance. Sometimes they specify exactly what they're looking for in the job description. So it's really important that you thoroughly read the entire thing. Tells you about the background of the practice, what kind of office you would be working in. Here's a huge thing. New graduates are welcome to apply pending the required certifications and appropriate training. So this is a really great sign that this is a role that, would be open to you if you don't have anything but your externship. We want to go in and look at these responsibilities, making sure that you either perform these during your externship or understand it to a basic entry level. And scroll down. So also this is reminding you to attach your resume. Sometimes you'll see applications request cover letters as well. So just making sure you're paying attention to everything that they're looking for whenever you submit your application. We go down to education experience and qualifications. You can see they prefer a bachelor's degree. They prefer that you're certified. They prefer a year of experience. They prefer all of this. And so the key word here is prefer. This is not a requirement. So this is a job where you could really have a good chance at getting as an entry-level medical assistant. We could also look in here and identify different keywords that are in here. So this says effective communication. So, using exact wording on your resumes and cover letters will help you out a lot with being called back for an interview. So maybe you have verbal communication as a skill on your resume. Go ahead and tailor it. Make it say effective communication. That way these applicant tracking systems are matching up keywords and pulling you for an interview. So this can really help you out. So this one had a lot of preferred. It seems very entry-level friendly. So I want to look at another one. So here's another one here. You can see it pays a little bit more. This is a medical assistant role, not a medical receptionist role. So you have to have your high school diploma. They prefer that you have a college diploma. They say right here, 1 year experience working as a medical assistant, preferred. So we know that that's preferred. But we should look at the other requirements as well, just to make sure. Just because it says 1 year of experience preferred doesn't mean that you're qualified. There might be different tools that they're requiring you to use. They might have language requirements. They might want you to be bilingual. So they want you to have your current medical assistant certification and your BLS. They prefer that it's through the California Certifying Board for Medical Assistants. going through and looking at these skills, we can try to match these up with your resume. So this is another job that, this would be a really good one to apply for, but between this job and this job, the first one, you would probably have a higher chance of hearing back if you don't have any prior experience. So for this one, I want to show examples of required. So you're really looking for that required versus preferred qualifications. This one, 23 to 26, they want you to have your diploma from a program. They want you to have experience with medical insurance. So it sounds like they're looking for someone who's maybe had some healthcare experience here. We can already tell just by this. Ability to prepare patients for exams, taking vitals. And then it says 1 year working as an MA in an outpatient clinic or medical office setting. So while it doesn't say required or preferred in this sentence, it does say required qualifications up here. So we know that they want you to have at least a year of experience. So this would not be a good job to apply for as an entry-level medical assistant. You can even see they prefer that you have 2+ years. So you can definitely tell that this is one that, is maybe going to be your next role, but not your first role as a medical assistant. The last thing I want to show all of you is our job application tracker. So this can be really helpful if you're applying on different websites. So say you're applying on Indeed, you might submit some Kaiser applications directly on their website. Maybe you submit a Common Spirit application. When you're on Indeed, it's going to show you the jobs you've applied to on Indeed. But if you're applying at a bunch of different places, you're not necessarily going to have that all in one spot. So by keeping track of when you applied, what you applied for, and where you're at in the process, this can help you stay organized and also do those follow-ups. Those follow-ups can really get you traction. A lot of people do not follow up when they've submitted an application and they haven't heard back from an interview. It can be tricky to find that contact information to follow up with, but you can utilize tools like LinkedIn and the company website to either send a connection request or send them an email. And we can also help you, customize what you're going to say and help you look for the point of contact in your individual coaching sessions as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Coach Kirsten. Coach Francisco, if you want to go ahead and share your screen again.
Thank you so much, Krista. That's amazing information. I also want to point out, we do suggest to look at a variety of different websites when it comes to looking for a job. I was just talking to a graduate today that was only looking on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn does post some jobs, but LinkedIn out of the hierarchy of the job sites is on the top. So it costs a lot of money to post jobs on LinkedIn. And so a lot of the smaller businesses or some places will not be posting kind of more entry level, kind of lower level positions. So, it's great to utilize LinkedIn for networking, but maybe depending on the position you're looking for, not completely looking for a job on there. Indeed, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter are very great tools to use. Just be aware that if it looks kind of scammy, go specifically to that website to apply for the job. You do not want to give out all your personal information when it comes to, your application. You want to be able to protect as much information as you can on the internet. Always think about networking. If you're on Facebook, I know that there's community groups for everything. Just posting, hey, I'm a recent graduate with my medical assistant certification. Does anyone know any place that are hiring? Like I said, it costs money to post jobs on some of those sites. So some of the smaller clinics just go by word of mouth and put it on their own website. Putting yourself out there, I know can be kind of hard, but actually that showcases your initiative and that you are just ready to get out there and work. Calling around, doing a Google search to look at, med spas, urgent cares, plasma centers, depending on what your background and what you're looking for, just calling, looking at their websites, seeing, what's available and just kind of, it is always good to put yourself out there because a lot of people aren't. And so that actually helps you in the long run. And also just being aware that, you know, the way you're presenting yourself online is also a way for you to either impress or not. Just being aware that employers do still look you up online. So if you have your Facebook open and it's showing, just pictures of you on vacation all the time, maybe they're thinking that you might not be, aligned to working a 9 to 5. So just, it's just actually safer just to have everything locked up in private, making sure that your profile picture is professional, and just giving that professional attitude coming out into the working world. Next one, Cisco. And then, we are here for you. Like I'm recognizing a lot of names on here that have joined, and we are here to support you. So just make sure that if you're struggling, if you're getting kind of just fed up or just discouraged, schedule a call with your coach, or if you haven't scheduled a call with us, please do so, just to be able to get that support. We know that the job search can be overwhelming and just kind of just a lot to take in, but we're here to support you. Also, because you are a Futuro grad, we do support with information to help with applying for Kaiser, and that is a part of our programming that we are able to offer. Once you get to that part, we do ask you to continue with our coaching plan. But we've actually seen a lot of success with our graduates being able to get some traction with Kaiser jobs. And that being said, though, like Krista says, you have to read the job descriptions. I've had some graduates getting frustrated, but they've been applying for jobs that it says that you need a year of experience, and they just finished their externship, and they are upset because they thought that they were guaranteed a job at Kaiser. You're never guaranteed a job, but you have all these skills, you have all this support for you. This is something that, take advantage of. And, especially like I know that a lot of people want to kind of get into bigger facilities, but thinking that, you always have to start somewhere. And if they're asking for experience, looking at maybe a smaller clinic to get that 6 months to a year of experience, that foundation to really grow your career is something that, is very admirable, and, something that can really be useful as you continue to build up your career. I think we're finishing up, but like there is in the chat, there is our links there for you to be able to schedule a time. And if you've already been working with us, don't go specifically to that site. Just reach out to us if you've already been, you've been working with us. And we really, are excited that you're able to join us today, and let us know if you have any questions about job searches. Try to keep them very broad. If it's specific to you, please schedule a time, because we don't want to take up time for other people. I know sometimes some employers do doing more internal hires to promote within. I would just say I know that sounds like you're using Indeed, LinkedIn, clinics, hospitals, maybe looking also into the smaller clinics. Just off the bat, I don't really know what your background is, but if you do not have some background in healthcare already, some of the times that people always kind of want to go for the bigger clinics right away, and just being able to be more flexible for some of the smaller ones to be able to get that foundation, to be able to get that experience to build into a career in healthcare.
And that's a perfect route to go. I have scholars that I've been working with, they took that route, they stayed there the 3 months. 3 months later, they were like, Francisco, I've been here my 3 months. I have the time accumulated. Let's go ahead and, and then they moved up. So it's always a matter of where to start off. And it's to Kirsten's point, not all the time you're going to be promised a position, especially with these bigger facilities, they do ask for like the whole, a year and all that. But if that's the case, they're all alternative positions that you can definitely do to get the same experience, to get that outcome. Like we all got to start somewhere. We always move up, and that's the beauty of healthcare. There's always room for growth in it. So definitely take advantage of it.
And Eric, I see that you had scheduled some time with Cisco, but it doesn't seem like you've connected. Maybe you can do so. You can do kind of a coaching session and dive in a little bit deeper to have more of a one-on-one conversation. Who else had a question?
I have a question. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
My question is, how do you start, how do you go about getting into an externship? Because I have been trying to go, I have called a lot of places, and it's hard to try to get into. You know, I've graduated and everything. I'm still waiting to take my spec exam, but how do you get the training if you don't know where
Yeah,
to go?
unfortunately, AlliedUP does not do anything with externships. You would need to contact your school or Futuro Health. They are the ones that are, are leading the charge with externships. We're just here for career coaching. So I would definitely contact your success coach at Futuro. You reach out to your school and see what information they would have for you to support you in that endeavor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Berta. All right, I guess 1 minute to spare. You guys, I hope you enjoyed all the information, and make sure you set up a time to speak with us if you already have a coach. If not, use that link to be able to schedule a time. And it was great to see everybody. And until next month.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining.